might I want to contribute to the topic? And then the third one, minimize distractions, like eliminate all distractions. So if we all did those three things going into any meeting, let alone the morning rush, we show up a different way. I know I do. During the meeting, be present and engaged, like be active. You could be active in the chat. You could raise your hand. You could be active in the breakout rooms. Ask insightful questions. Something might come up and you might say, well, what about this? That could inspire us. We often do a lot of that during the morning rush. And then respect the process. Like we want to make sure that we respect the environment that we're in. So if like it's set up a certain way, we don't want to do things that are in kind of conflict with the process. And then after the meeting, how do we optimize after the meeting? Review action items. We might have come up with some ideas for ourselves or in partnership with others in the meeting. Provide feedback, share some things that worked, maybe some things you'd like optimized, and then follow through. Complete your assigned tasks in a timely manner. And so as I thought about this, I said, this could be something you could distribute to anyone. Everybody's got meetings all the time. And you could even take this and put your own branding on it and say, hey, I got a guide for you. But the point being is what these people on Twitter that I were looking at as I started dialing into the digital marketing, and Rand, you could stop sharing that. What I found was that they were all just adding value. A lot of them said, hey, I was trying to attract an audience. I was trying to do this. And then they would post later on and say, you know what, that wasn't what did it. When I stopped trying to like get all these people and I just started adding value, some things shift and people started interacting with me more. And so I was just, impressed by that and awakened by it. And I said, we could all create guides. And so the question that we're going to jump into today is, what guide would you provide? What's a one-page guide? Do you have one? If you don't, what would you provide? And Jim, I know you're a digital marketing aficionado, so to speak. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, just in general. Like, I think it's easy for us to create stuff these days, but also like, how do we add value? So what's coming up for you in this conversation?
I think the one thing that is crucial is to come from a point of view that you want to help the person. So you need to listen first to understand what are they challenged with. I had a great meeting yesterday at a meetup, met 4 people from the States that have just moved here. And the one guy is looking how to get a visa. And then another one that I may actually end up doing some work. They have over 100 courses built, and now he wants to sell that to restaurants, which he's been doing through several other companies in America. And so I think find out what they need and then offer some value. I think the one thing that I see go wrong on social media is there's a lot of people, you see them on Instagram or whatever, and they're trying to look wealthy. The sidebar to that is people in the big cities in America are renting the best suite in a hotel, then they put it out on social media, come and look famous, and they charge a lot of money for these people to come in and fly on the bed and pretend like they have that whole thing. And so if you want success, add value is the takeaway to this, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And
yeah,
there are experts that are really quite good at it. I think one of the things that I often tell myself and others is you may not understand how to get new clients. Maybe, and do you want to, go read Who Not How, Dr. Benjamin Hardy's book, and hire somebody to do that for you, because it's extremely expensive to try to get up to speed at marketing in general.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I would say.
And what came out of this, Jim, which is great, is 2 of the key themes that I saw as I was just kind of digging into a lot of profiles and what they were offering and what they were doing. And at some point, a lot of these people had messages. One, be yourself. Like, don't try to be someone you're not. Don't claim you're an expert when you're not an expert. Just be your authentic self. Talk about your journey and what you're
Mhm.
learning. And then two,
Absolutely.
add value. Those were
Add
two of the biggest themes that I came across. And we can sense it. We can snuff it out when somebody's kind of false representing who they are. And so with that, everyone, we're just going to go to the breakouts this morning, and the exercises. Well, if you had a one pager, what would it be on? What's like an area of expertise or an area of insight that you would share with somebody? And that's what we're going to take this into the breakout room. Jim, while Rianne is creating the breakout rooms, what's one thing that you would have a one pager on just to get this little conversation going?
That is a very good question that I hadn't considered today. I think that, wow, that's a very good question. Let me consider that because I hate to
Yeah,
just
well, that's
make
what
shit up.
rooms are for, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen. There's no right or wrong answer.